Good evening and welcome to the Rainbow Default Files. Today we have a special treat, an extra, because I had a little bit more time and you've all responded so well. I want to talk to you about a very important development this week. Honda is giving us a new Prelude, and even better, it looks amazing. It's a beautiful red coupe. That's how they're showing us in the concept. They've shown it to us in white before, and it just looks absolutely beautiful. It has perfect coupe proportions. It doesn't have any weird blobs. It's not an SUV. They are putting the Prelude name on something befitting the Prelude name. It's just exactly what you would have wanted. Ish. Now, before we get into the name and some opinions I have there, first let's talk about the basics. They reckon this thing is going to be a hybrid. Current theories are that it's going to be a 2-liter with a hybrid drivetrain similar to what's in the Honda Civic or the CR-V. They're thinking around 200 horsepower. It's also not going to be the sportiest thing out there, but then again, the Preludes never were. They were more GT than sports car. Still really enjoyable to drive, but not hardcore like an Integra Type R might have been. So far, so good. Basically, that's all there is to know about the concept at this stage, other than the fact that Honda USA told me they're not sure if they're getting it. Or more accurately, they told me they're not going to say if they're getting it or not, which, okay, so it's not confirmed for the US. UK looks like it's getting it. Europe looks like it's getting it. Australia, I'm not holding my breath, but hey, fingers crossed, we deserve it. Plenty of the old Preludes still getting around. But let's talk about what we're really here to talk about. Yeah, it kind of looks like a Prelude. It looks more like a Honda Integra. It really does. You see, look at the old Preludes. They had these long hoods. They had a longer tail end than most of the Integras. They were stretched. They were luxe. They were GT. They were personal luxury coupes. They were great, but that's how they looked. This thing is beautiful, but it's a lot more sport compact. It's a lot more coupe. It's got a shorter hood. It's got a shorter tail end. If you put an Integra badge on this thing, that would just make so much sense. This thing looks like a Prelude. It looks more like an Integra. Ideally, that's what I'd want to see, and I'd want them to show me this amazing, sporty-looking little car that looks like it's raring to go. I want them to show me that and tell me it's an Integra and tell me it's got 250 horsepower and it's going to be hardcore as all heck. That's not what we're getting, at least at this stage. And there's a reason as well that they're not calling this thing the Integra, because Honda already messed up by bringing back the Integra already. They did it in 2022. It's the Acura Integra. It's not a Honda. It's America only as far as I'm aware. And this thing was such a disappointment when it came out. I was not quite on the ground floor, but I was talking to a guy on the ground floor when this was announced in 2022, and I couldn't have been more disappointed. It literally looks like a worse Civic. It looks heavier than a Civic. I think it may be heavier than a Civic. It's got 5 more horsepower than the Type R. A lot of people have driven the new Acura Integra. They say it's good. They say it handles great. And I bet it does. But it's this lumping 4-door thing. Some people have argued with me. They've said the Prelude was always a 2-door. The Integra used to have sedan models, used to have 4-door, 5-door models. And so it makes sense that they brought back the Integra as a 4-door. You find me one person in 2001, 2008, 2015, anyone that walked out of a Fast and the Furious movie saying, oh boy, I sure want to take my family to school, drop the kids off in my 4-door Integra sedan. Nobody, the car culture, the car enthusiasts believed in the Integra as a sports coupe. Those were the halo models, the Type R, the Type S. It was a sports coupe. The last version didn't even have a sedan. I get it. You feel really smart. You're a commentator. You say, oh, actually, there were Integra sedans, so it's very valid. Nah, fam. I don't vibe with that at all. A million posts across the car blogosphere all about coupe Integras, and suddenly we're like, oh no, it's one of the best known sedans ever. Everyone loves the Integra sedan. That's the most popular one. I'm still angry about this, and it's been 2 years. That's okay. I respect other people's opinions. I just can't abide that. Can't abide that at all. Look, if you want to tell me, yeah, oh, you're a big fan of the Rover version of the Integra, great. But aside, I'll wrap it up by saying this. I am super keen for this Prelude. I reckon it's probably going to handle great. A lot of new cars handle great anyway, just by the fact they don't have old bushings and they're not worn out. And yeah, I think it's probably going to be a pretty good car. Even the new Acura Integra, people say it's great. I think Honda knows how to build a good car. I am disappointed it's not wearing the Integra badge. I am disappointed that we're probably not going to get a Type R version. Just a feeling. At the same time, this thing looks sportier than anything Honda has made. In how long? I mean, forget the NSX. I think that thing looks like an alien. Maybe since the NSX. I think this is probably the sportiest, coolest looking thing Honda made since the new NSX. And the coolest thing I reckon it's made since the S2000. I don't think the NSX looked very good. Anyway, that's my opinion. That's what I think should have happened. If you disagree, sound off. But that is the big thing happening with Honda. Japan is building sports cars again. I know no one's buying them. The Supra, the 400Z, or the Z from Nissan, I should say. No one's buying those. I hope people buy the Prelude because I can't believe it's back. I mean, hey, if Toyota brings back the Paseo, we are going to be laughing our asses off, if I'm honest. Hope you've enjoyed this bonus episode of the Rainbow Default Files. Lurk and subscribe, please. TK's got to eat, and I'll catch you next week on Thursday or whatever it is in your time zone. Till next time, TK out.